Hi, and welcome back to another episode. I'm joined by my good friend Roger.
Where's my coffee?
And we're going to review two essential Oculus Quest games. Two games that you need to go and download right now. So please, sit back, grab a cup of joe.
I love coffee so much.
As we take you down a journey, talking about all things video games. Now the first game that I'm going to be reviewing, I was invested. When I started playing it, it was daytime, it was light outside. And then when I took the headset off, it was pitch black when I came out of playing this game in VR. It was as dark as Juliet staring deep into my soul. Well, her name is actually Juliet in the game, but I swear it's Taylor Swift in disguise. Tay giving me that death stare, penetrating deep into my soul. You'd think I killed a cat or something. I know that death stare from somewhere. I swear she's related to... No, that's impossible. That can't be. And the visuals are just bad. I mean, look at this. The visuals could have been so much better. But yeah, visually this game is bad. But gameplay-wise, it's incredible. It's near perfect gameplay-wise. Once you get used to everything, I think it just controls beautifully. It plays beautifully, but the visuals, terrible. This game takes place in Europe during World War II, taking the franchise back to its roots, with the main protagonist that you play as being an OSS agent and fighting in the French resistance, taking names and killing Nazis throughout. And also apparently Nazis also fear this music. What's that song? My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Well, apparently this music brings all the Nazis to the yard. Now the gameplay is pretty great overall. It takes a little bit of adjusting to get used to the aiming and the shooting mechanics, because you need to angle your controller in a certain way to get accurate shots off. So it takes a little bit to get used to the aiming mechanics, the controls. Unless you just don't want to impress Tay, then keep shooting like that, by all means. Don't stop, she'll just give you the death stare all over again. Also, why am I so small? No wonder Tay wasn't interested in me. On your travels as well, you'll be finding things in the environment. You can interact with things. You'll be finding keys to open up things. You'll have to gather dynamite sticks to make a bomb to blow up a safe. You'll need to play the piano and get it right to open a hidden doorway. So there's certain things in the environment that you can interact with that'll go towards the mission to completing that objective. But yeah, gameplay, once you get used to the shooting, it is satisfying. And it works pretty spot on. Or you don't need to use guns at all. You can just try your luck going up to, if you run out of ammo, like I have many occasions, you can just go up to that said enemy and punch him or slap him about a little bit. Or to be creative, kill them with style, you can just pick things up in the environment to throw at enemies. Pick things up in the environment and smash them over the head with it. Like an apple. Or a nice bottle of wine. A nice French bottle of wine, but that's a waste of a good wine, that. I killed someone with a cardboard box very early on.
Search his desk for the track.
On your travels, you can pick up many things, from ammo, different guns that enemies will drop when you kill them, or just different weapons in the environment that you can pick up and test out and try before going to the next stage of that level. And there's collectible documents that you'll be collecting on your travels as well, and needles. Yeah, you need to get vaccinated around every corner. You're essentially a junkie with the amount of times you'll be sticking yourself with a needle to heal up. You can also switch weapons at any time by pulling them from your back. Different weapons from both your left and right side. With a sidearm pistol you can equip from your belt as well. Or your torso. You have grenades on your torso. You can pull out a grenade, or pull out the pin and throw it. Just don't trust me throwing a grenade. I'll probably blow you up. Just actually, in fact, don't even be in my close proximity when I throw a grenade. When you need to reload your gun. So you look at your gun, you've got the gun in your right hand. You would look at the gun and then you press E on the controller out comes the clip. And then on your left side, you would pull another clip out from your belt, insert it in the gun, release, and then there's a slider that you need to pull back to load it in, and you're good to go. You've got grenades on your torso, pull off the pin and then throw. Same with your needles as well. Like I said, you're a junkie, you'll be injecting yourself 24/7. Pull out a needle that's close to your torso as well, inject yourself, stab, that actually hurt. Stab yourself, and yeah. The weird thing about that though is that the needle remains in you for a few seconds after that, and you can't physically pull out the needle. You're just running around the environment shooting people with a giant ass needle hanging out your chest. And you've got 2 weapons holstered on your back. Pistol, you've got a pistol as your sidearm on the right side of your belt. Again, hold this button, pull out your pistol, and then you would reload that the same way you would your other weapons. Some weapons do reload differently. There might not be a clip, there might be some ammo that you pull out your belt and insert in the top. But overall though, I absolutely love the way the gun mechanics work in this game. It really does immerse you in World War II with its guns, its setting, all the different guns you can use. Throughout the game, it will also have you doing a variety of different things, like blowing stuff up with railguns. You'll be controlling the tank and controlling turrets on bikes and planes as you mow down enemy aircrafts, tanks, and more. With a variety of World War II weapons and explosives to pick up and swap out along the way. There's also a multiplayer with different game modes available, and you can also invite your friends to play online with you as well. I had one game that had other players in, and then after that it seemed to just be CPUs. I couldn't find any more games online with other players. They just kept loading in CPUs that I was shooting at. Now let's move on to the bad, because from time to time it does go in and out with a crackling effect depending on what's happening on screen. Very minor issues with the audio, and it only came in every now and again depending on what was happening on screen, but it was noticeable. It was there. It did kind of take you out a little bit as you were trying to focus on what's going on in the game, and all you heard was the audio crackling in and out. It did get to you a tiny bit. This is very minor though. There's also a hub world in between missions, your base of operations, where you'll be to continue your campaign, replay chapters that you've already completed if you want to go back to other levels to get collectibles. This is also where you'll access the multiplayer side of things, with a variety of multiplayer matches available for you. This really gripping documentary series from World War II veterans, which is really cool. And you've also got survival, where you face off against a wave of enemies. There it is, my review of Medal of Honor Above and Beyond. And this game really did take me above and beyond. But now we move on to Roger. And Roger is going to review a game that I cannot wait to play. It was the game of the year on Oculus last year. I've heard so many amazing things about this game. I cannot wait to dive into this game after I complete Medal of Honor Above and Beyond. So now let's go from shooting Nazis to shooting zombies. Take it away, Roger.
Have you ever wondered what it would actually be like to literally be inside one of the most iconic video games ever made? Well, wonder no more! And I hope you were wondering what it was like to be inside one of the scarier games ever made, because colorful platformer this ain't. My brief but sweet take on Resident Evil 4 VR is that it is an amazing and lengthy virtual reality experience. It's the entire game translated into VR, and on the whole, it succeeds. Now, this is a VR game that's a perfect in-between game. By that I mean, if you were just starting with VR and you started out with easier titles like Tetris Effect or Walkabout Mini Golf, this is the perfect next step to the more intense side of VR gaming. You get the option to move traditionally, or you get the option to teleport, so movement isn't as nauseating like I found it to be at first. This is the VR game that really got me used to controlling a character while standing stationary in the same spot. The movement, speed, and actions you're thrown into while moving all mix to be one of the more comfortable action game experiences in VR. You don't have to really bend down to pick things up either. You just point and grab things like the treasures you'll find and it'll be collected. Now, like some other VR shooters, Resident Evil 4 VR gets you to memorize where your weapons are on your body to pick them up, and it also gets you to reload like an actual gun. This all helps make facing off against the Ganados, aka those villagers, and no, not the ones from Animal Crossing, those ones are adorable, all the more terrifying, especially the moments between firing your weapons and having to reload them. However, there's also a quick switch wheel where you can switch between your weapons instantaneously, which may be beneficial in battles with lots of enemies. When you've got to resort to using your knife, it's a ton of fun, but when you do other melee moves using your limbs, it goes third person on you and you have a mild out-of-body experience watching Leon tackle some Ganados. It doesn't detract from the combat experience though, you get used to it. But sometimes you're done fighting and saving the day. You want to just save and quit and go and eat that leftover pizza that's in the fridge because the setting of Resident Evil 4 is oh so appetizing. It's like a 5-star resort from hell. Well, the typewriters you use to save your progress are back, and since it's VR, you actually have to use the controllers to type out your name on them. It's a nice touch. Also, during cutscenes you're thrown into a cinematic viewing room, and when you pause you get your weapon grid right in front of you to organize. It's like you're in your own personal weapons room. And with that, I will leave you with this. Resident Evil 4 is one of the best VR experiences on Oculus. It is stunning, even though it is foggy and probably super smelly in the locations you're traveling in. Just be glad that VR doesn't include smell yet.
Oh, no.
It's really good. Play the game.